Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Sunday Sweat Club. We have a full house live today, which I absolutely love. And I have a fun plan for today. So I think it's going to be a great class. We are going to start on the ground. You might need to look around your room for a little bit. You have two options. Option one can just be laying down in recovery pose. So knees together, feet wide. Option two, you could put anything under your low back so you're in a bit of a supported bridge. And for me, like this cushion works just fine because this is the beginning of class. Remember, no ego bridge, right? Just something that feels good and supportive on the back. So pick your version, maybe root around the house a little bit more, and then bring your palms up by your sides. Close your eyes. And just drop into your space. Sometimes that can be kind of distracting when we're practicing online because we're not at a dedicated yoga space, right? There might be noise from other people in the house, neighbors, dogs. So bring your awareness away from the outer space and into the inner space, so specifically the space over your heart center as you breathe in and out. Inhale, watch the rise of your chest. Exhale. So as you relax into this position, if your mind starts to wander, just bring it back to the sensation of the gentle rise of your chest on the inhale and the feeling of relaxation or even contraction on the exhale. Our lives are made up of periods of expansion as you inhale, right? And contraction as you exhale. The same thing happens with our heart. It expands and contracts to pump our blood. But also, we go through expansion and contraction in life. So you might be able to look back and reflect on times where you felt like you were just conquering the world, right? Immense growth, going out, accomplishing all of these things, expansion. And then you might be able to consider times in life where you felt like you were cocooning a little bit. Maybe progress was stagnant, retreating a bit into your shell, contraction. As humans, we love to put labels on things, right? Expansion is good, contraction is bad, but that's not true. These are two beautiful parts of life, beautiful parts of the body that we need in order to succeed, in order to live a full life. So consider briefly as you breathe in this position, are you in a period of expansion, of contraction, or maybe somewhere in between? And just accept where you are without judgment. No good, no bad, just is, right? And then inhale, draw your breath way down into your low belly. Exhale, pull your belly button in and up. Starting to deepen the breath for our practice. Inhale, how high can you push your diaphragm up to the sky? Exhale as you contract, how deeply can you empty the lungs? Again, inhale. Maybe expand the breath into your side body. Feel the back of your body push into the mat. Exhale. Continue this breath, growing and expanding, and then contracting, breathing with purpose. If you know Ujjayi breath and you haven't already, you can start to constrict the back of your throat to create the sound of an ocean wave, slowing the inhales and exhales. Take 4 more breaths, just like this. And then inhale, exhale. If you haven't reached 4 yet, keep going. Inhale. When you're finished, you'll exhale, place your hands down on the mat. If you are up on a block, you'll gently lift your hips or a object, right? And move it out to the side. Let your palms face down onto the mat by your sides. Separate your knees if they're together. Walk your feet hip width distance. And then on your next breath in, we'll move into a bridge pose that's no longer supported. You don't have to go too crazy yet. In fact, I would encourage you not to go crazy. Let's start with almost a Pilates style bridge, which means the knees and the hips and the shoulders are essentially in one straight line rather than a back bend. Try to pull your feet towards you, squeeze your glutes, and feel the engagement in the back side of your body. Breath in and out. Inhale. Exhale. Keep pulling the feet towards you. One more. Breath in. Exhale, lower down one vertebra at a time, little by little until your sacrum releases down to the mat. Take an inhale here. And then exhale, draw your knees into your chest, no hands. Take another breath in, lift your head and chest off the mat. And then exhale, lift your fingertips forward. So you're kind of in like a little egg shape, reaching your fingers towards your toes. And we'll just stay here. This is a period of contraction, right? Inhale. Rounding, push the low back down to the mat as you exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Once more, lift the shoulders higher. Inhale. Exhale, lower the shoulders down to the mat, head down to the mat. Flip the palms down, release the feet. Next breath in, inhale up, expansion. Now you might take it a little higher this time, bringing the shoulder blades closer together. Option to interlock the hands if that feels really good for you. But remember, once more, we're pretty early in class. So think more about the engagement of the posture, pulling the feet towards you, squeezing the glutes, making the underside, right? The posterior chain of your body really start to fire up in this posture. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Once more, inhale. And then release the hands if you have them. Exhale, one vertebra at a time. Really mind body connection, right? Be specific. One vertebra. Can you walk it down the mat little by little? Release the hips once you get to the bottom. On your next breath in, draw both knees into the chest, lift your head and shoulders up, your hands forward. And now we're in our little contracted egg shape. Breath in and out. Again, inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, lower the head down, the hands down, then the feet down, hip width distance apart. Inhale, lift the hips up, bridge pose for just a breath. Now we flow with this movement. Exhale, try to spinal wave down the mat, then draw the knees up and in, lift the head and chest. Take a breath in. Exhale, lower the feet down, head and shoulders back. Inhale, lift the hips high. Exhale one vertebra at a time down the mat, fast and controlled, right? Lift yourself up on an inhale, hands forward, point the toes, reach. Exhale, lower the feet down, head down, lift the hips high. One more time, inhale. Exhale one vertebra at a time, down the mat, knees in, inhale, lift up and hold. Breath in. Exhale, release the feet down onto the mat, hands by your sides. Inhale here. And then as you exhale, slide your feet over to the left side of your mat. So the left corner of your mat, you might even look down, try to straighten the legs. So legs straighten, both toes are together. Then bump your hips over to the right side. So we're coming to a big side bend. Push the hips over to the right, hands come up and over to the left. So it's almost like a half crescent moon shape. Now in this posture, we're side bending, right? So maybe press the hands together or lock the hands together. But instead of thinking about bending from your right side, I want you to think about contracting on your left side. So think about pulling your left hip towards your left rib cage as you squeeze down and in with the pelvis. If this is easy, it means you're just not contracting hard enough. Think about all those little muscles that are going to be there to support you. Today, we are working on expansion and contraction, right? And one of the things we need for expansion, i.e. heart openers or back bends, is this strength in the side body. So take one more breath in. And then exhale, shimmy yourself back to center with your hips. Then your hands will come back to center. Take a breath in, draw your knees into your chest maybe. And then as you exhale, extend the legs long, take the legs over to the right side. Lift your hips up over to the left slightly, and then side bend over to the right with your hands. So crescent moon in the opposite direction, point your toes, lock your toes together so they're close. Squeeze the arms, maybe you can squeeze the biceps into the ears, point the fingers. And then even though we're bending from the left side, think about contracting your right hip towards your right ribs. So you're squeezing in. For me, if I contract hard enough, I'm like, I'm almost cramping, right? You can kind of replicate that as you try to hike the hip up, pull in and hold. Breath in and out. Another inhale. Exhale, contract. Inhale, back to center. Bump your hips to the center, bump your hands to the center, slide your feet to the center. Exhale, draw your knees into your chest. Grab your hands behind your thighs, and then we are in a contracted position, expanding through the back body. Rock and roll yourself on the spine. Think about hitting every vertebra, and you know how we like to do like 5, right? We're children, and we're going to enjoy our rock and roll. So feel free to take an extra one if you need. Let's do 2 more. Can you hit every vertebra? And 1 more for good measure. And then come on up, kick your feet around to the side. Remember, we're also working on no hands to tabletop. So try to grab your hands in the center. Can you make your way to tabletop pose without using your hands? And there are a million ways for you to do this. My favorite is feet around to the side, roll onto the knees, lift up, walk yourself back. Lots of options, things to play with after class too, right? Wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. Tops of the feet to the mat. Close your eyes. Drop your belly, roll your shoulders back, look high. Cow pose. We're going to stay in cow. Inhale, think about pushing your chest forward. So imagine pushing the chest forward as you roll the shoulders back even more. Exhale, pull your core in even though we're in a back bend. Inhale. And now exhale, spinal wave it all the way to cat pose. Tuck your chin and we'll stay here. In this version, pull the belly button in, push into your hands, tuck your chin, maybe gaze at your pelvis. Breath in and out. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale back to center. Exhale, stay here. Inhale, drop your belly, roll your shoulders back, look high. We can move a little faster just because I feel like you might be craving it. Exhale, round through the spine, cat pose. Think about the movements I suggested as you inhale, drop your belly, shoulders back, cow. Exhale, round, cat. Inhale back to center. Walk your hands one handprint forward. Option to stay here. Remember, this is always a substitute for down dog, or push up and back into downward facing dog. Sink your heels down. And then take a mini micro bend in your elbows. So just like a little baby bend in the elbows so you're not locking out in the elbows. Think about wrapping your armpits under, your triceps under your body, then push into the hands. I am suffering the consequences of locking out my elbows too often in yoga. I can tell when I do it because my elbows start to bend the wrong way and they hurt. So you do not want to be like me. That's why we're going to focus on micro bending because we want engagement, not just flexibility, right? Breath in. Exhale, sink. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, walk yourself one toe print at a time with as much weight in your hands as you can. Maybe knees are bending, maybe legs are straight to the top of the mat. Fold into Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sit your butt back, come through a chair pose all the way to standing, hands high. Exhale, hands by your sides. A little tutorial before we get into class, like further into class, right? I want you to just go into a back bend. So bring your hands to your hips, and I'm not going to demo it. Take a little baby back bend. Just do it right now. See what happens. Then notice the shape of your body in this back bend. What are you doing in order to get there? Take a breath in. And exhale, come back to center, hands on the hips, and then hands by your side, Tadasana. Now, if you take a look at me, it's likely quite a few of you, maybe when you went for a back bend, you started to lean back, right? That's a back bend, is it not? No. And today we're going to talk about how actually lengthening the spine, extending through the spine and bringing it forward is part of back bending versus just leaning back. First option to show you right now. Are you ready? Of course you are. Inhale, sit back, chair pose. Okay, so find your chair, then bring your hands to your knees. So hands come to your knees, and today we're going to do what people tell you not to do in chair, because I love breaking the rules. Push your butt out a little bit. So think about pushing the booty out, but then at the same time, can you try to draw your scapula backwards and your chest forwards? So you're essentially trying to push the chest through the arms in chair pose. Pull into your hands, keep squeezing the scapula together. Maybe open the throat slightly. So we're in a back bend. This is a back bend in chair, right? Hold and breathe. Inhale. Exhale. Keep squeezing. Inhale. Don't get lazy on me. Exhale. One more. Breath in. And then exhale, straighten your legs. Take the bend out of your back. Very slowly fold into Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands. Take a big step back to plank pose. Then inhale. Exhale, lower your knees down, curl your toes under, and come back, a seat on your heels. Our fave, broken toe pose. I try to do it every class so we can sit longer, right? If this isn't possible for you, you're welcome to be here as well. However, we're going to do the same thing we did in chair right now. So start to tilt your butt back, chest forward. Think about pushing the chest forward as you lengthen your spine up. So push, lengthen, roll the shoulders up to the ears, then slide them down your back. Maybe open your throat slightly. Inhale. Exhale. Once more. Inhale. Exhale, take the bend out of your back. Come to center. We're almost there. Stay in this posture. Now, I want you to back bend wrong. Inhale, lift your shoulders up and just start to lean back. Notice the difference of how this feels on your low back, your low spine. Hopefully that's like fairly big and weird, right? Take one more breath. Inhale back up. We're never going to do that again. Exhale, come forward. Tap your feet out. Hands can come one handprint forward. Curl your toes up and back, downward facing dog. Breath in.
and out. Inhale your right leg high. Pull your left hip back in space. Then you can either point or flex the toe. I'm going to point. I always flex. I'm going to try to do something different today. So I invite you to try to do something different than you normally do. Take one more breath in. Exhale, kick your foot to your butt and then open your hip. But don't lift that left shoulder up. Keep the shoulder drop down, nice and strong. Both shoulders are even. Your upper body is in down dog. Breath in. Exhale, extend through the leg, close the hip. Take one more inhale. Exhale, step through, low lunge. Then come up, bring your back knee off the mat. Inhale up, crescent pose. Hands high. Once in crescent, what are we gonna do? We're gonna hang out for a minute, bring the hands to the thighs. Crescent pose is naturally a bit of a back bend, right? If you find you have a lot of restriction, you might not have the legs straight, you can shorten the stance slightly. But the goal today is to actually lean the chest forward, push the chest forward a bit, and we'll exaggerate the back bend as we squeeze the scapula together. Then inhale the hands high, and you'll be leaning a little more up and back. Push the chest forward, breath in. Pull your right hip back in space. You know the drill, left hip forward, breath out. Inhale. Exhale. Once more, inhale. Exhale, sweep your hands down, frame your foot. Push into your hands, up and back, downward facing dog. Immediately into the other side, inhale your left leg high. Point or flex your toe, do whatever you did on the opposite side. That was something different. Take another inhale, try to sink the right heel down to the ground. And then exhale, kick your foot to your butt, open your hip, but notice one shoulder might want to creep up. Drop the shoulder down, don't allow it to lift. Firm, equal weight in both hands. Breath in. Exhale, close the hip, lengthen the leg long. Inhale here. Exhale, step through, low lunge. Inhale up, crescent pose. Pull your lift hip back in space, and then just like before, bring the hands to the leg first. So the difference today is you're thinking about pulling the chest. It's almost as if I had a little string and I'm trying to tug your chest forward. You're resisting with your shoulders as you squeeze up and back. One of the issues with back bending a lot of times, inhale your hands high, wherever you are, is that people tend to also dump into one area of the low back and think we're bending, but really the back bend comes from the whole spine, right? Which we're gonna try to involve today. Breath in and out. Inhale. Exhale. Once more, pull the left hip back, right hip forward. Exhale, hands come down. Push up and back, downward facing dog. Inhale, come forward to plank pose. Exhale, lower your knees down, everybody, because we're working on a different version of chaturanga today. Tops of the feet to the mat. Then push your hips forward as you actually take your hands a little bit wider than normal. So make sure they're not too narrow on the mat. I do it intuitively, but make sure even your pinkies can be off the mat. Sink the hips down, roll the shoulders back. So we're in our cobra pose as the hips come down to the mat. But instead of looking like this in cobra, right? Think about bringing that chest forward, rolling the shoulders back, and then hugging the elbows in. Your arms should feel a little bit tired here as you breathe. Inhale. Exhale. Breath in. Top of the feet to the mat and out. Once more. Inhale here. Exhale, lower down to the mat. Forehead comes down. Curl the toes under. Hug your elbows in. Now is your opportunity to push up to either plank or tabletop. Exhale back, downward facing dog. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, hop, walk, travel to the top of the mat into Uttanasana and fold. Inhale, halfway lift, hands to shins, maybe 2 fingers to the mat. Exhale, fold. Again, inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. One more time. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, hands to your hips. Inhale, sit your butt back, chair pose. Exhale, hands to the knees. Inhale, bring your chest forward. Fast breath. Squeeze the scapula together and hold here. Slow the breath now. Inhale. Exhale. One more. Breath in. Exhale. Come to standing. Hands by your side. Tadasana. Close your eyes. Consider whether you feel more comfortable during periods of expansion or contraction. And again, there is no wrong answer. If you are someone who likes to nest, to nurture, maybe you don't love to lead or be in the spotlight, you might feel more comfortable in periods of contraction. If you're always someone that's trying to light a fire under themselves, you might be more comfortable in periods of expansion. Notice today if that echoes your practice, if you feel more comfortable in one or the other. Inhale, sweep your hands up, look up. Exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step back to plank pose, lower your knees down, and then lower your chest. 3, 2, 1. Roll over onto your right side and come to your right hip and pretend you're just like chilling on the beach, right? Like, oh yeah, I'm so cute, I'm on the beach. You are cute, you're adorable. All right, now I want to focus on the underside of the body. We are going to move into essentially a side bend. So inhale, lift your torso up and try to bend into your side as you contract your ribs to your hips, your hips to your ribs. If this feels okay, you also have the option to come to a low plank with the hips not on the ground. But either way, you're doing it, right? Because we're working on this side of the body, ribs to hips. If you're here, you might lift the arm and lift up over, but don't forget, the only thing I care about is how short can you contract the right side of your body. Yes, we're expanding through the left, but think about the contraction on the right. Hold, breath in and out. Inhale. Exhale, contract. If you come out, come back in. One more. Breath in. Exhale, lower the hips down, roll onto your belly, and then over onto the left side immediately. So you know where we're zooming the vision, right? Right into this side of the body. Think about first, everybody try it without lifting the feet. How can you contract this side of the body, squeezing in? Then once you've got that, straighten the legs and you might lift. If you're lifting, lift up. Focus on this as the hand comes up and over. Breath in and out. Inhale. Lift. Exhale. Once more. Breath in. Exhale, lower the hips down. Roll onto your belly. Slide your hands back by your sides. Curl your toes under. Push up, plank, or tabletop. Exhale, back downward facing dog. Inhale and a deep, long exhale. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, travel to the top of the mat. And then fold into Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, butt back, chair pose. Exhale, hands to the knees. Once more, think about pulling the chest forward. Option to sweep the hands back as you reach the chest forward. Hold. 3. Big breath in. You stay for 2. Exhale, 1. Inhale, sweep the hands, come to standing. Exhale, hands by your side, Tadasana. Inhale, sweep the hands up, look up. Exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, take a big bend in your knees. Plant your hands, step your right foot back, maybe very controlled. How slow can you step that back? And then we lower the back knee down. So you might need to wiggle the left foot forward slightly. Come into a nice big lunge. Once you're there, can you push the right hip flexor down? Hands come to the mat, maybe hands to the blocks. 2 blocks here could help you if your hands aren't reaching the floor. Breath in and out. Option to stay here. Or you can start to bend into the back knee and then maybe reach back with one hand, your preferred hand. For me, it's probably going to be my left hand as I reach up and over. Think about pulling your right shoulder forward. So this is just a really big quad stretch. Now, I'm going to talk while we do this. If you had to pick, is this a period of expansion or contraction? Try to pull your chest forward, roll your shoulders back. Seems more like expansion, doesn't it? If you round down, pull in, could feel more like contraction. Our hamstring is contracting, right? Keep pulling the chest, pulling the foot if it's up. 3, 2, and then 1. Release the foot down to the ground. Curl the back toe under, lift up to your low lunge. Spin your back heel down and inhale, come up, warrior 1. Pull your right hip or left hip back in space, excuse me. Push into the outer edge of that foot. Hands are high. Exhale, sink down into the front knee. Inhale, roll your shoulders back. Take your hands together and take a baby back bend as you squeeze your scapula up. But instead of holding the expansion, we're going to contract, come down into humble warrior. Let your shoulder come to the inside of the knee as the hands fall up and over the head. Try to keep your back leg straight. Breath in. Head is heavy and relaxed. Maybe look at your navel. Breath out. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, lift yourself up. Warrior 1, release the hands and then sweep them high. Exhale, spin the back heel wider, widen the stance. Warrior 2, look off your front hand. My front leg is dying a little bit. It's tired. That's a lot of work. Okay, well, we'll try to sink down. Everybody come down. You'll just be here briefly. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, come to side angle pose, elbow to the knee, sweep the hand up and over. Inhale, come back, reverse your warrior. Exhale, elbow to knee, side angle, sweep the hand up and over. Again, inhale, reverse your warrior. Last time, as you exhale, sweep the hand this way, side angle pose. Inhale up, warrior 2, and then exhale, sweep the hands down to the inside of the foot. Wiggle your left foot out to the side. Connect your knee to your tricep. Lift first maybe, then step back, downward facing dog. Breath in and out. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, step, hop, walk your way to the top of the mat. Uttanasana, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift again. And then exhale, plant your hands, step your left foot back. How slow can you go? Controlled, right? As you lift, so graceful. Lower that left leg back, and then the left knee can come down to the mat. Try not to rip these pants. They feel like they're about to rip. Sink your hips down. Option to have hands on blocks as you push the left hip flexor down. Wiggle your right foot forward. Ideally, imagine expansion in the chest, right? Can you lean the shoulders back, gaze forward slightly? Breath in and out. Inhale. Exhale. Next breath in, bend into your back knee. Reach your right hand back and grab for your big toe if that's available. If it's not, you're working on the left hip flexor stretch. I'm going to let you in on a little secret. This pose makes me really angry all the time, which is why we're going to start doing it more because it makes me mad. You're welcome to pad up the back knee. Squeeze your scapula together. Gaze forward. Again, imagine someone's pulling your heart, just pulling you forward as you take a breath in and out. Slow down. Inhale. Exhale. Once more. Breath in. Exhale, gingerly release the foot. Bring it to the ground. Hands come down to the mat. Curl your back toe under. Lift up. Then spin your back heel down, 45-degree angle. Inhale, lift yourself up, warrior 1. For me, I've got to make a huge adjustment. My left hip is way too far back. So I'm going to Pull that right hip backwards, then reach the hands high. Exhale, hands come behind the back. Inhale, roll your shoulders back, look high, but instead of holding expansion, we will hold contraction, come down. Right shoulder to the inside of that right knee, hands up and over the head. Let your head be super loosey-goosey down to the mat. Gaze at your belly button, breath in and out. Inhale. Exhale. Once more, breath in. Exhale, stay. And then inhale, lift up. As you lift up, release the hands if you have them, hands high. Exhale, warrior two, widen the stance. My knee doesn't want to bend, but we're going to do it. Yep, sink to the front of the mat. Look off your front hand. Now we've got a nice little flow to pretend like our legs aren't doing things, right? That's the aim. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, side angle pose. Sweep up, over, around. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, side angle pose like a rock star. Inhale up, reverse warrior. Exhale, sweep. Inhale up, warrior two, hold. Exhale, sweep the hands down to the inside of the foot. Wiggle your right foot over. Widen your hands, connect your knee to a tricep. Push up first. And then back, downward facing dog. Breath in. And out. Inhale, come forward, plank pose. Exhale, lower your knees down. Walk your hands a little bit wider on the mat. Then start to push first with the hips. Push your hips down. Allow the wave to roll to your mid back, your upper back. Eventually, your cervical spine, your neck, right? Everything rolls back as you pull or push the heart forward. Relax the body down towards the ground. Hug the elbows in and breathe. Breath in and out. Inhale. Exhale. Reminder, you might be here and that's just fine. Inhale. Exhale, everybody down to the mat. Curl your toes under, hug your elbows in. Maybe try to lift the thighs first and push up to plank or tabletop. Exhale back, downward facing dog. Breath in and out. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, step, walk, hop, do a cartwheel to the top of the mat, fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sit back, chair pose. This time, hands to the knees, we're going to do a variation. So hands can be to the thighs too, but as you inhale, I want you to push the chest forward, roll the shoulders back. And then exhale, tuck the pelvis round through the spine. This is like the silliest looking chair ever, right? Maybe we're a beetle contracting. Inhale, push the butt back, drop, roll the chest forward, open the throat. Exhale, round. Once more. Inhale, you've got it. Chest forward, shoulders back. Exhale, tuck the chin, round. Inhale, neutral spine, hands come up. Exhale, come to standing, close your eyes. 5 breaths. Take a moment to reflect on, even just in chair pose, what did you prefer, expansion or contraction? If you're noticing a theme, maybe you can try to send a little more love, a little more effort to the part or of the posture, the expansion or the contraction, right, that isn't most comfortable or familiar to you. Blink your eyes open. Inhale, sweep your hands up, look up. Exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, take a big bend in your knees. Secure your left foot down to the ground. Step your right foot slowly. How slow can you go? Back, little by little into a low lunge. You may need to wiggle your left foot up. Plant your right hand firm on the ground, and then inhale your left hand high. As you do this posture, pull the left hip back, but can you pull the right side of your body up and in? So remember when I cued your right, let's say your right hip to your right rib, I want you to mimic that in this posture while you keep the hips low. So squeeze in. You might even make a face you're squeezing so much, right? Like side body crunch, and then bring the hand up and over as we're in a little bit of a side bend. Breath in. Sink your hips down. Breath out. Squeeze in. Come on. Inhale. Exhale. One more time. Breath in. And exhale. Lower that back knee down. Untuck the toe. Hand can come to the inside of your left foot. So wiggle the left foot out to the side. We're in kind of that lunge we were before. Kick your right foot out to the side slightly as a kickstand, and then we'll come back. Ta-da! Side plank round 2, but a different posture. If you preferred the one down here, you can come down here. So if it's okay on your wrist, you're welcome to stay up. If you'd rather use a forearm, come down. Think about squeezing into the side body, pulling the hip up and in. If this feels comfortable and you can reach the hand, you're welcome to extend both feet and think about the hip up and in. Hold, squeeze. Maybe even put, I really like this like hand on the side for the connection, right? To encourage my body to like, okay, yep, this is where we're working. Because every back bend is supported by all these muscles in our trunk, and we need them all engaged before we move into a full back bend. Breath in and out. If you came out, come back in. Inhale. And then exhale. Underside of the knee comes down, or you'll just step that left foot up to a low lunge. Hands come to center, right? So knee can be up, knee can be down. This is where we meet. Connect your knee to your tricep, push into your hands. Now, if the back knee isn't up, try and lift it, connect, up and back, downward facing dog. Breath in. And out. Inhale. Exhale. All right, inhale, look forward. Exhale, travel to the top of the mat, and the only way you know how, i.e. fabulously, and fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands. Big bend in the knees. Step your left foot house slow. Bend in the right knee as much as you can before you release the left foot to the ground. And then shimmy your right hand to the inside. Actually, I don't even think we need to do that yet. Left hand stays on the ground. Inhale your right hand high. Yeah, we can do this alignment. It actually feels better for me. Now, just like we did before, can you bring your left hip to your left rib cage and arch the arm up and over, all while still sinking into the hips, right? So find that crunch on the side of the body and then lift the hand up and over. Hold, breath in and out. Inhale. Exhale. Once more, breath in. Exhale, plant your hand to the inside of the foot now and wiggle your right foot out to the side. So option 1, if you did it on the other side easily, you can step back to full side plank. Option 2 is to bring the left knee down, create a little kickstand, right? Left leg kicks out to the side, shift your butt back, and then step that right foot to the back of the mat, and then we're in our side plank variation. Option to be down here, remember, this is also where we're working and we're gaining strength for the side plank over time. So you pick yours. Think about the hand up and over, or as I said, and I really like, hand can come to the side and tell these two, the hip and the ribs, to push in as you roll the shoulder back. Maybe lift, breath in, strong in your bottom arm, no matter what it's doing. Breath out, squeeze. Inhale. Exhale. If you come out, come on back in. One more, breath in. And then we'll step the right foot up to the top of the mat next to the right hand. You might get there with one big step, or you can lower the bottom knee. Try to make one big step coming up. Then we all curl the back toe under, lift the back knee up, push up, back, downward facing dog. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, step, hop, run, Uttanasana, top of the mat. Contract, fold in, pull in, and we will stay here in a contracted, folded state. You have a couple different options. You could either just fold, chill out, enjoy it, Option 2, grab for your ankles. Option 3, maybe you take gorilla pose, hands under the feet or the big toes and pull. So many different ways to contract. Try to breathe into the diaphragm, even though you might not have a lot of space as you're pulling in. Breath in. Exhale, release. Inhale. Push your feet away from each other. Take a little bend in your knees and you'll roll yourself up, but keep pushing so we engage the glutes and the spine as we roll up one vertebra at a time. If you have any spinal issues, just come to standing with a flat back. Roll the shoulders back. Oh, hands by your sides. Tadasana. Breath in and out. All right, we're making our way down to the mat. We're going to do a little variation of that one more time, and then we're basically laying down. You know what that means? That means give it your all. Yes, that is exactly, I'm sure that's what you were going to say. I believe that it was. Okay, here we go. Inhale, sweep your hands up, look up. Exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands really firm, bend into your knees, step your right foot slowly back. How slow can you go? Then bend into the left knee, step down, shift your weight over into your right hand. Inhale your left hand high. Option to take the hand over. Think about a side bend as you reach. Maybe you can even, I'm making this up right now, so there's no obligation to try it, but I thought it would feel cool. Maybe you can even lift that back foot. Ah, weird. I just came up with a new thing. Sweet. Guys, you can put a comment later what we should name this because it's sick and I love it. Okay, breath in. Remember, you might just be here reaching, squeezing the ribs together. 2, 1. Release the hands to the inside of the foot. Wiggle the left foot out to the side. Moving towards our side plank. One more time. Option to take the knee down. Step back. Maybe make your way to side plank. If you're down here, that's fine. If you're up. Now this is where the variation starts to come in. Push your hips forward. Push your chest forward. Push your heart forward and start to roll open on that right shoulder. Even if you're down on the ground with your elbow, we're doing the same action, opening the heart up to the sky, turning this posture into essentially a back bend. The hand can come to the side. If you've got both feet, you're going to do the same thing. Think about leaning back. Maybe you get light in the left foot and can bring the left knee up to the chest, opening the heart to the sky, opening the throat and holding, calling yourself crazy for even trying this, right? Take your version. If you're here, keep opening and breathing. Hold. 3, 2, and then 1. We all come back out of it by turning forwards, right? We meet with the left foot, I think it's the left foot next to the left hand. Curl the back toe under on the right side. Push up and back, downward facing dog. Breath in and out. Inhale, look forward. Walk, step, or hop, top of the mat. Uttanasana, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, big bend in the knees, step the left foot back slow. How slow can you go? With control, little by little, until eventually it comes down to the ground. Inhale, your right hand high. I'm so excited because this is my chance to try this thing again. So option 1, think about crunching your side body on that left side. Roll the right shoulder back, right? Sink low in the hips and hold. Option 2, you can do the thing I made up that we're going to pick the name for, picking the left foot up off the ground, reaching the right hand high. We hold left hand on the ground, right foot on the ground by each other. I don't even know. We'll think of a great name, I know. Pick your version, hold and breathe. 3, 2, and then 1. Inhale. Exhale, plant the right hand to the inside of the right foot. Wiggle the right foot out to the side. Option 1, step back to side plank. Option 2, lower the back knee down and then wiggle and step it back. Option 3, lower down to your side and we hold. I'm going to cue from this version up. So if you're in this version and you're not lifting, roll the right shoulder back. Think about pushing the heart to the ceiling. Left shoulder will scoop down and under. Your scapula try to come together as you open the throat and the heart. Look up. Maybe you're doing it up a level higher, right? Exact same posture, just up. You could play with lifting this back foot. If you're all the way in side plank, squeeze and contract the side in. Start to roll the shoulders back, 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 back. Chest forward, chest forward. Maybe draw the knee up and into the chest. Maybe look high as you squeeze, breath in. We all breathe. And out. We try to breathe. I'm doing my best. One more. Inhale. Exhale, wherever you are, gracefully come out of the pose. I always say that, and half the time I fall. We will meet with the right foot up by the right hand. Curl your back toe under. Inhale, lift up, step back, plank pose. Lower both knees down. Come to a child's pose. Knees wide, hands forward, close your eyes. Whew. A period of contraction. You tell me, this contraction feels great. I don't know about you, but two more breaths. Next inhale, push yourself up to your hands. We've got one more posture because you're warmed up. We're going to try it, and you may have never tried it this way before, so it's worth the effort. And then we're laying down on our back. We're moving to camel pose. This is one of the poses that in hot yoga, typically it makes me want to barf. So if you have any sensations that make you feel nauseous, that's okay. This is once more a heart opener. But a lot of times, if this pose has been inaccessible to you, this is traditional camel, right? We'll say we put our hands on our hips, and then look at how normal this looks, right? So many camel poses do this, but this actually is a bit of the antithesis of what we've been working on, right? We don't want to just drop back. We want to drop forward with the hips, open the chest forward, reaching up. So instead of getting into the posture that way, I want you to play with two different ways. The first way, and this might not be accessible to you or to everybody, but I'm going to show it first. So your toes will be curled under. Hands can come to the outside of your heels. Now, I am going to move into the back bend first. Before I even lift my hips up, I'm going to push my chest to the ceiling. Watch, push the chest up, push the belly forward. Did you see how that moved from chest, belly? Now, I'm already in the back bend. I'm going to push my hips up to the sky, and my heart is so open. I can actually I feel like I could do this all day. It feels far less compressed than if I try to drop into it. So if you can reach the hands to the heels, that's one option I want you to think about. And you're going to do this a couple times while I cue the next one, right? So if this one's for you, do it a few times. Remember, chest, then the belly, then push the hips up. The rest of you can come with me. Toes can be curled under or flat. For me, I prefer curled under because it makes me feel more balanced. If your toes are flat, you might want your hips a little bit wider. Now, bring your hands to your low back, fingertips point down. Instead of leaning back before we move, what are we going to do? Same thing. Push your heart up to the ceiling, right? Push your heart up, then push your belly forward, your hips forward. How far can you push the heart and hips forward as you squeeze the scapula, then open the throat to the sky? And notice I'm actually not back. I'm more forward as I lean into the hands, but push the chest up, push the hips forward. Inhale. Exhale, if you're with me, come down. We'll do it one more time, just because I want you to think about the cueing. For me, when I was first taught this, this was a huge aha moment in my back bends because I didn't realize that it's not dropping back because that's just what it thinks. So this idea of pre-bending the spine before we even bend, to me, is really the secret. So come on up. One more time. Pick your version. Remember, if you're down there, hands to heels. We all start the bend at the same time. Fingers point down. Start with the chest. Push your chest up to the sky, your collarbones up to the sky. Roll your scapula back, squeeze them together. Now try to push your belly, your low back forward, opening through the belly. Then hips can come forward and move. Maybe see how far you can open the throat up to the sky. Try to hold for a breath in and out. Remember, we're lengthening, not just dumping. Inhale. Let your side body muscles support you. Exhale. One more breath in Exhale. Whew. Come back to center. Take any seat that feels restorative. If it's child's pose, come to child's pose. You could be like a little egg. If you want to take a seat on your heels, that's fine too. Close your eyes, allow your breath to just return back to equilibrium. Again, if you felt any panic, any anxiety, anything in that posture, that's completely normal. We're opening our throat and our heart, right? As animals, we feel vulnerable when we do that. A few more breaths. Inhale, wherever you are. Exhale, and then come down to your back. No core, none of it. We're not doing it. We're just laying down. If you want to do core, you can. It's not like it's illegal or anything, but I'm just laying down. I'm sweaty. I'm ready to relax. Let's take a twist. Left leg long, right knee comes in. Take the hands on the knee, pull it in. Inhale. Exhale, twist over to the left side. Right arm comes out. This, in my opinion, is a fantastic example of a posture between expansion and contraction. We are essentially doing both. And in reality, most of the time in life, we are not in a expansion or an expanded state. We are either on our way there or on our way to contraction. Notice the dichotomy of how you feel with the right shoulder rolled out, with the right knee coming up into the chest. And hopefully it feels good, because this is where we live. Next inhale, take yourself back to center. Even out the hips, maybe by lifting that hip under, bringing both knees back, facing the ceiling, feet down, and then the left knee will come in, right leg long, opposite side. Bump that right hip over, or under, I should say. Take your left hand to the side, gaze over to the left. Breath in. Exhale, relax, release. Your mind starts to wander, bring it back to the breath. Bring it back to the physical body, what we are doing, how you're moving, right, to be in this posture. Where can you expand to get deeper into the twist, and where can you contract? Inhale back to center. Even out the hips. And then come to a happy baby. Hands come to the feet. Option to move side to side. Option to stay still. Maybe even lift your head up a little bit. Make this more contracted, and then pull the feet down and in. We have about another minute and a half. I'm a little over time, but we're going to rock with it because I want you to just have like a minute or so to move freely, especially after a practice like this where we had a lot of very specific movements. Option to move straight to Shavasana. If you're not sure what to do, just listen to your body. What does your body want? What is it asking for? It doesn't have to be a yoga pose, just something. About 15 more seconds to finish up whatever it is that you're doing, whatever movements you are making. And if you're not already there, you can make your way to Shavasana. In Shavasana, give yourself permission to take up space, take your feet wide, your hands wide. Expanding, right? Expanding into this next phase, this next chapter, this next cycle. Once you're there, deep breath in, pull the breath all the way into the low abdomen. Exhale, sigh it out. Releasing heat. Close your mouth. Let go of your ujjayi breath or any breathing pattern you might have had. On your next inhale, imagine pure white light, white energy coming in. And as you exhale, imagine your mind emptying and clearing into Shavasana. You are welcome to stay here in Shavasana as long as you like. If you are ready to move out of your practice and expand into a new day, you can begin by wiggling your fingers and your toes. Rock your head side to side. Open your mouth, wiggle your jaw, wrinkle your nose. And then take a big morning stretch overhead, hands long, point your toes, side bend to the left and the right. Eventually, you can roll over onto one side and then push up to a comfortable seat facing the general sound of my voice.
Hands can come together at heart center, maybe two palms over the heart. Just bow your chin gently in gratitude for yourself, for the practice, and remind yourself to honor all periods of expansion and contraction, right? When it comes down to it, we just need to enjoy the ride. Deep breath in. Exhale. Inhale, lift your head back up. Gently blink your eyes open. Get reacquainted with the space around you. Thank you all. Fantastic work. If you have any questions, please hang out after class. We can chat or send me an email. I love to chat. If you enjoyed that class, this is a lot of what we'll do on retreats. We will break poses down. We'll try to look at things from a different way. So you can always check that out and come see me somewhere in the world too. Talk soon. Bye.
Thanks, Madison. Bye. That was
Thank
great.
you.